Good morning, everybody. I appreciate you joining me. I'm really excited about this program we have, and I appreciate the time you're taking to be with us here this morning. If you're joining me from an agency, let me just say right up front, you're joining me from an agency that works exclusively with Boiseans, meaning Boiseans with so only residents of Boise, then this program may not be for you. This program covers all of Idaho except for residents of Boise. But I know the housing authorities, Ada County also goes beyond Boise. So hopefully, I think this will be something that's very interesting and helpful for everybody. This webinar is being recorded, and we will make it available if you have more questions. But really what I hope is that you'll just reach out to me and I'll share my information at the end, and we can figure out a way to make this program beneficial for the people you serve. Let me start by recognizing the challenges, and then we are going to have a Q&A at the end, by the way. So probably the best right now is I don't have the way to view any chats that you want to send me, but put it in the chat and I will review it at the end. We'll do a Q&A, or you can come off mic. But I want to start by recognizing the challenges that many of our fellow Idahoans are facing with regards to leaving homelessness. They're facing homelessness, or they're trying to, in all of its dimensions. We'll talk about what that means for this grant, but they're trying to secure employment. And there's so often that if they have a child or two or three, how do they go to afford childcare to go to a meeting or to an interview, or even to make it through the first week or two or even 3 of work before they actually get to you? So that's kind of the issue that we're trying to address with this grant. Our commitment is to stand alongside them in this journey. We're really excited to launch this program together. At its core, it is paid childcare so parents can get back to work and stay there until they can afford childcare on their own. So that's what we're doing, talking about today. Here we go. So this is a new program, new for us. We have never done something like this where we provide an actual financial benefit. So really appreciate the opportunity that we have from IHSA and the grant that we've received to get involved in it. And I'll go through all the details, but it is a new program. So let me just say there's a big learning curve for us. And we are absolutely open to if there's opportunities to improve the program, or if there's a need for clarification as we go through. Don't think that if you have a question about how this might work and I haven't answered it by the end, don't think that you're alone, because it's probably something we just have not figured out yet. But we will look forward to getting it figured out. Okay. Now, our target clients. Let's talk about who these target clients might be. You've got those who lack, of course, they have to have children so that we can pay childcare. Lack nighttime residence. That could be not just, we're not talking about just being on the street. It's just they have no nighttime residence. They might be fleeing violence, domestic violence. They might be fleeing any sort of trafficking as well. But whatever it might be, this is likely an opportunity to help us be involved as well. All right. Additionally, anybody who's at risk of instability, that's a huge. How do you define that? So at risk of instability, we're talking about maybe they have an income of less than 30% of the area median income. Maybe 50% of their monthly income is going toward housing costs. There's that one. 50% of their income is going toward housing, which, I mean, that can take in a huge percentage of our population, just in the Treasure Valley and other places around the state. When you have, or if their income is just less than 50% of the area median income, they are at risk. They may be considered at risk population. And then families of who have family members who are veterans that are in any of these qualifying classes. So this is not necessarily, sometimes you hear about some really cool programs and then they get super defined and so narrowed that you're not even sure who this might help. But when we're talking about half of their income going toward housing, that's not just rent, but keeping their housing and paying for housing items. So this is our target and qualifying population. And I know a lot of you are like, wow, that's like most everybody we serve, which is fantastic. But let's talk about who some of the ideas. This is just a quick brainstorm of who the agencies we think we're going to be able to work very well with, and I know we're going to miss a few. And I'd love to see some of you might be from an agency that's not on this list. Throw your name, throw your agency type of agency in the chat. But of course, homeless shelters, coalitions, housing authorities, food banks, pantries, the school district, and their liaisons. If you have connections with any of these and you don't see them on this webinar at the moment, we want to reach out to them. Faith-based organizations, churches, mental health care programs, and legal aid, and of course you, if you're not on that list. But in fact, love it if you would just go ahead and put your name and organization into the chat. So I know, I mean, I can see names, but I don't see organization names. So I'd love to have it on this so that we know. We can reach out, follow up later, or you can reach out to us and know who you're representing and what you do. Now, this is what I really want to get to here, and what everybody wants to get to is what is involved. How do you pay? What are you going to pay for? Well, we are going to pay for childcare. Let me make sure. I'm going to kind of read some of this. I'll make sure I don't miss anything. So the primary service is to bridge the gap between unemployment and the first paycheck. That's really it. It's not just, okay, here's, you need to go to a job interview. Well, we'll pay while you go to the job interview. What happens if they get the job and they have to go through 2 weeks of training before they get the first paycheck? They may not have how are they paying for that? Maybe they're the child care provider requires prepayment. Well, they're not going to be able to do that. So we are looking at helping people from the time that they are starting that interview process, and maybe even before that. If we're talking about a job training that happens before you get a job interview, let's talk about that. That's a possibility. But by paying for short-term childcare, either hourly or daily or during essential, periods such as interviews and training and onboarding, that's where we really think we're helping to bridge this gap. For quality assurance, we're going to try and partner with or work with childcare providers that are listed on sites that that will help us understand that they are they're quality sites, or they are at least not having issues. One place is Idaho Childcare Check. When we were hoping that, and I haven't been able to find this, but if anybody knows of a source where if somebody calls and says, "Hey, I'm going to this interview in 2 days and I need a childcare," we want to be able to refer them to a place or a list that they can choose from with confidence. So if you know of one, please share now or share with later. It's been honestly, it's been a long time since we've even thought about doing childcare in our family. So it's literally probably been 12, 13 years. Anyway, specific situation, let me give you some examples. Employment workshop. If somebody is attending an employment workshop or seminar that enhances their job seeking skills, maybe it might be a resume writing, interviewing technique, job market orientation, whatever it might be. Temporary job assignments. Maybe they're working through an agency that they're working toward full-time employment, but are working with a temporary agency. Maybe they only have a need that for a day or a few days of work at a time, but they certainly need help with childcare as they transition. Maybe they are, some might be going back to work and needing some credentialing or licensing. That could be possible. Job fairs, attending a job fair, absolutely. How many people don't go to job fairs because what do I do with my kids, right? Employment-related medical examinations. Some jobs may require either checkups or drug testing, something along those lines. We can help with that. This program can help pay for childcare during those. So it can be very short term, even just an hour or two. We will pay. We will work with the individual, with the person who's going to the interview or through the training. We're not going to assign them a childcare provider that they have to use. We will get them a list and they can choose from there, and then we will work with the childcare provider to get that payment taken care of. It's probably not going to be something that can happen in an hour or 2 or 3. It's probably going to need to be at least 24 hours, if not 48 hours. But it is something that we want to be able to do as expeditiously as possible. So, if there are some mandatory meetings with job agencies or caseworker that is helping them get back into employment. Now, that some of you probably just heard that caseworker. Wow, we're working with caseworkers all the time. We do need to keep it related to employment and not to other issues that caseworkers might be working with. Relocation, housing, viewing. This is a question that came up, that has come up. What if a job requires relocation and the parent is looking for potential housing? Relocation by choice is probably not going to qualify. But if family maybe was evicted, something along those lines, maybe they've been given a notification that in 30 days you're going to have to move, or you're going to have to move out. And maybe they have to move from, they're going to have to move from somewhere in Meridian where the rent, maybe the landlady haven't raised their rent for some reason, fine, for 5 years or 10 years, and all of a sudden they're doubling it. And that's, of course, if you're working with people in housing. You've heard that happening. I've heard that happen many times, people calling us. And so they may have to move out of the area to a more affordable place. Well, we can talk about if they are looking for outside of Boise, if they're looking for a place and it is related to employment, then let's talk about that. Okay, I think that's probably about what I need to talk about there. But there's a lot. It's not just the job interviews. I want to make that clear. But it's if they have other things that are related to onboarding or in getting to the point where they can get a job interview, we want to be able to help them because they're not so stressed about, I can't ever go back to work because I have to stay home. Nobody's there to watch it. So you can see there's a lot of awesome opportunities with this. So with that, let me just share that this funding is available through July 31st of next year or until it runs out. And we figured that the funding will cover anywhere from 4,000 to 6,000 hours of childcare in Idaho. Again, outside of Boise, not including Boise residents. This is a Balance of Idaho grant. So the investment's not just about the numbers, of course. We're empowering parents to rebuild their lives without the concern for the child, how to pay for child care, or who's going to take care of the child. Okay, so just to put in perspective, that's 545 hours, approximately 500 to 550 hours of child care every month from here until the end of July next year. There's a lot of potential there. And we really do want you to to work with your people that you serve, take advantage of this. We know we're going to be busy. We hope we're going to be really busy. And it's really just going to be a matter. There is the one other thing I need to share is there is going to be mandatory housing counseling with us to go with that. It's not just, hey, I have this interview tomorrow, because the individual or the household is facing homelessness or in homelessness or in unstable housing. The grant requires, and the whole purpose is to stabilize housing and encourage employment. So that could be, and that housing counseling session could take anywhere from they could do a lot of the intake online in 5, 10, 15 minutes. And then the housing session could take anywhere from 30 minutes to 60 minutes. It could be a one-time with some follow-up, or it can be ongoing. Our goal is to help them find and stabilize their housing with finances. Just so that you know what's involved as a HUD housing counseling agency, we create a household budget specific to that household. We talk about fair housing. We have to provide some fair housing information, but we can also, majority of the people that we've been helping over the last couple of years are in or facing homelessness. And so we can also go work with people who are struggling with some rental issues. Whether it's, maybe they are dealing with some landlord contract issues, or they're not getting the service, the landlord's not getting something fixed. We can do all that. And so whatever the issue is when they call us to talk about the child care, we will be spending some time about specific issues, but it's not going to be so long that it's prohibitive. And really it's all about stabilizing their finance. So it's not unrelated, and it's not irrelevant. It's not unimportant. We really do feel this is going to be contribute and as we partner with you and the services you already provide. This could be a really exciting opportunity. So with that, there's our phone number. That's actually our housing counseling phone number, the 855 number. We do housing counseling around the country, but this grant and program is just for the state of Idaho. You can send us an email. Individuals can send us an email. They can call us. We do answer MoneyFit by Debt Reduction Services. It is the same company. MoneyFit is one of our DBAs. It is our DBA that we typically use. And our websites are both MoneyFit and Debt Reduction Services.org. So I don't want anybody to get confused. Well, I called Debt Reduction Services, but they answered MoneyFit, or vice versa. I called MoneyFit and said something about Debt Reduction Services. We are Debt Reduction Services. We've been around since '96. We will continue to be Debt Reduction Services, but we do business quite often as MoneyFit because people are a lot less uncomfortable working with the company. I can have the word debt in it for some reason. So, if this is a great time now, I wanted to keep this short. I wanted to keep it to under a half hour, and we are on target to keep it under a half hour. But my number, I didn't use my number. You can call that number, and either I will answer, or our other housing counselor, Holly, will answer. And you can just ask me or ask Holly, and we'll get you the answers that we need. But I'm happy to address any questions or concerns you have now, or if you need some clarifications. And going back to that early on, that first screen or second screen, I'm going to tell you, I may not have the answer because this is such a new opportunity for us. You might have something that we need to think about and how to approach it. But we do prepay. We pay the childcare up front when they're there. So we do want to make sure that they're not. It's not a reimbursement to the client directly. We pay it, and we get reimbursed by the grant. So let's see. Hi, Trudy. Good to see you. I'm just looking through our text here. Anybody's got some questions? Okay, Pocatello, American Falls. We're working directly with some childcare centers that we would love to connect with. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I actually, Tanil, I work remotely from Pocatello, so please, yes. Let's see. So yeah, this webinar is being recorded, and so we will share it with the same agencies that you probably heard about this from, but you're also, please email me or put your email in the link or in the chat here, and I'll make sure you get a link to this webinar when it's posted. All right. What other questions? Any other questions you might have about the program and how it works? We're going to try and keep it as simple and as basic as possible, or straightforward as possible, so that the individual parent, guardian, and so this is for parents and guardians. It's not for aunts and uncles, but grandparents. If grandparents are going back to work and they are parenting their grandkids, it would probably work. It would work out for them as well. Okay. Yeah, Linda. I will let you know when the link is up, and get that information up. So I'll stick around and answer any other questions. But hopefully you see how exciting this is. We were really excited about the idea when Idaho Housing, we were going through this grant process. It was almost all the way through, and they kind of, the last minute, said, hey, what do you think about, would you be interested in somehow incorporating childcare? And we thought we're a debt, traditionally we've been a debt management company, and just in the last 3 years, added housing counseling. We have we try to figure out, okay, what do we do with childcare? This just makes a lot of sense um, as housing counselors to really do some good, across the state. All right, like I say, I'll stick around if anybody has any other questions. But I really appreciate everybody joining me today, and look forward to working with you and your agencies. Watch for the link soon. We'll get it up. I'll try and get it up. If not tomorrow, I'll get it up next Tuesday at the latest. But this is available now, by the way. It started in August. We could, if somebody called us today and we got them set up, we would take care of them. We'll get it all taken care of starting immediately. So can't wait to hear from you. You guys all have yourself a great Labor Day weekend.
Hi, Todd, I have a question.
Yeah.
This housing email that goes directly to you? Or is there a different email we can contact you to set up?
If you want to send it direct, if you want to send it just to me, here's my direct email. But yeah, it'll definitely come to me, and it comes to me, and then it's also shared with 2 or 3 others here in the office. But todd@moneyfit.org is my direct email.
Okay, and then
here's my direct phone number. That will come directly to me. So that would be for you guys and for the agency, but the clients themselves could just call that 855 number.
Perfect, thank you.
Yeah, you bet.
I did drop a link as well to search for childcare through Idaho Stars.
Okay, yeah, I tried to look in Idaho Stars. I guess I just wasn't doesn't get to the right place. So that's great.
Yeah, I can totally show you. We can set something up and I can show you.
Stars, because I know they are kind of the gold star, right?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm happy to show you where that's at, and then
yeah, I see that link there. I'm definitely gonna we'll definitely use that.
Perfect.
Thanks, Larry. No, appreciate that. Yeah, I knew having this webinar, we were gonna be able to tap into some more brilliant minds. You're all just doing such great work. All right, Jessica, good to see you, by the way, from another one from Pocatello. All right, you guys. Well, you guys enjoy your afternoon, and that number, by the way, just if you have to get a hold of me today, I'm not at that number. I'm actually in Boise for a couple of days, but I will check the voicemail. Anyway, enjoy your Labor Day weekend.
I do have a quick question,
Yep.
Todd.
Go ahead, Jessica. Yep.
So because you are in Pocatello, but you work remotely out of Boise, are you able to meet people in person, or do you guys do like the teleconference meetings?
For housing counseling?
Yeah, for housing counseling, because I have a couple of clients actually that have been coming to mind, who specifically that's what they need childcare for, is for job searches.
We do. We do our housing counseling by phone, by Zoom. We don't have housing space. We don't have office space in Pocatello, but if there's an appointment that I need to run to in Pocatello, I can do that. I meet with people here in Boise with a couple of weeks notice. I come up here every 2, 3, 4 weeks. But yeah, if we needed to talk about meeting somebody directly, if that's the only way they can do it, we'll try and make it happen.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I was just curious. There are some people who don't really have as good access to the phones and internet, but they could also come here. Like, we can assist them. So I was just curious if you had an office space. That answers my question. Thanks.
Yeah, I've been down to Aid for Friends. You're at Aid for Friends, right?
Yeah, Aid for Friends.
you know, you guys got a great facility, and my son did a Eagle project earlier this spring for you guys. So I love what you do, and I've been in there. So if there's space where I can come in and meet with somebody, we can talk about that.
Okay. All right. Great. Thank you so much.
All right, thanks, Jessica.
Todd,
See ya.
do you also do would you do like a little presentation for like the group of childcare providers we work with or something? Are you available for something like that?
That sounds great.
Okay.
Put me in front of a group. I'd love it.
Okay.
I know
Sweet.
I'm weird, but yeah. And Camille, you're also down in Hotel, right? Yep.
Yep. And United Way. So Amy Weist
Oh yeah.
is
Yeah,
the
yeah.
one that connected me with you. Yep. And
Fantastic. Yeah, I'll come over and talk to the group, and because I think childcare providers themselves, they have their ear to the ground. They know who's going through what, and yeah, love to talk to them.
absolutely. And that's kind of what our efforts to work with. We're connecting with childcare providers to try and improve the quality of the programs that we exist. And so we would love to connect those families in crisis with quality programs. So we work with Idaho Stars and all of that. And so I feel like that'd be good.
Sounds like a natural.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks, Neil. Well, awesome, guys. Again, have a wonderful Labor Day weekend, and I look forward to hearing from you and working with you. Bye.